Well, here we are again. We're back in the MTP Software Studios for Radio Entrepreneurs. My name again is Jeffrey Davis, host of Radio Entrepreneurs, also chairman of the board, founder of MAGE LLC. Our next guest, as I told him when the mics are off, I've heard his name for years, but now I'm going to get to meet him. Tom Shane, Chairman and CEO, Business Strategy Group. Welcome, Tom.
Thank you, Jeff.
Great.
Good to be here.
Well, I have heard your name for many years, so why don't you tell us about yourself and your background and what you do?
So basically my background is as an entrepreneur since, I guess, the day I was born. To try to do a shortened version of the background, in the 70s, I co-founded a company called Faded Glory, which was the first pre-washed denim jeans in the United States. Sold that to a Chinese partner in 78. In 1980, my brother and I started a company called Leading Edge Products, which was the first IBM-compatible company in the United States. Wildly successful, not run particularly well toward the end, but wildly successful. And we, in turn, sold that to a Korean partner back in the late 80s. After that, in 89, I started a law firm called Shane & Paolillo, which ended up being about 50 lawyers in Boston, New York, and L.A. And during that time, interestingly enough, even though I had many entrepreneurial endeavors in between, some of which I ran directly into the ground, but others that were
you're an
mildly
entrepreneur.
successful, our clients were diverse, and my practice was corporate transactions and litigation. And many of them started coming to us and saying, you know, you're missing a market. We really need advisory services at the same time that we need your legal help, because you obviously have background in business, you've run companies, you've started up companies, which is unusual for a lawyer. So we started Business Strategy Group in 1993. And fast forward now, it's evolved to a group of been there, done that C-level individuals throughout the country that we provide advisory services to entrepreneurs mainly, but CEOs as well that have some challenge in their business, and we help them get through that. And so fast forward, that's where we are.
Are you mostly running the business, or are you still doing consulting yourself?
Both. I'm the CEO and chairman of the company, but my absolute pleasure in life is advising entrepreneurs. It helping to see businesses grow.
And you wanted to talk about E to E, entrepreneur to entrepreneur,
Yes,
correct?
very much so. It's a great frustration of mine and frankly many of us, because what we've seen as the years have passed and in working with more and more entrepreneurs has further solidified the view that it's with great sadness that I say that there are not more resources available to entrepreneurs. Now, why do I say that? You know, I'd very much like to leave here and have people think that there's some magic in starting a business and growing a business. I'm here to tell you that there really isn't.
No, the magic's keeping it in business.
Yeah, the magic is keeping it in business. That's the real magic. And
Anybody could start a business.
100%, and they do.
Yes, they do. And most shouldn't.
And most shouldn't. But what I've seen is year after year, every entrepreneur goes through 80 to 90% of the time the exact same things all the other entrepreneurs for the last million years have gone through before them. And unfortunately, our consulting services that are out there, which are many of them are very good and some are very big and powerful, but it's rare that an entrepreneur gets advice, attention, instinct, experience from another entrepreneur across the table. Very rare. Usually you have smart MBAs, very seasoned partners in consulting firms, but it's rare that they actually can get the benefit of all the mistakes that I personally have made in business and that are shared by entrepreneurs wildly successful or wildly, not successful. And that really is a frustration for me. So what we've focused at Business Strategy Group entirely on is providing entrepreneurs with entrepreneurial advice.
And how do people sort of contract you per project or on a ongoing basis? How does it sort of work engaging with you?
Yeah, an excellent question. So that's something we've developed. We've developed an entrepreneurial billing procedure too. Not everybody fits the hourly mold, and in fact, it's very frustrating for entrepreneurs.
No, it's you lawyers that ruined it for us.
Indeed. Indeed.
Clients are scared of open-ended billing.
Exactly, 100%. And that's exactly the gap that we've closed. Our practices are strictly on either a membership, meaning unlimited. When I say unlimited, within reason, contact by telephone, internet, that we're available to the entrepreneur, so they don't have to be concerned about picking up the phone and then another cha-ching. 0.1 hits the billing. We also do unique services where we'll actually embed one of our executives into the company, maybe a week a month, maybe 2 weeks a month, for a short period of time to help the entrepreneur on a day-to-day basis sort of execute on the plan that we develop together. So we take ownership of what we do. We take ownership. We're going to be responsible to help execute on the plans that we help the entrepreneur develop.
How do you feel about the whole field of consulting, where it's going? Any thoughts on that? You see a lot of advisors out there, and you see a lot of companies trying to grow. Most big companies are using a whole different suite of consulting firms.
Mm-hmm.
Small companies are using a different suite of consulting firms.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any opinions about that, about the trends?
I think consulting business is a dinosaur. I think the traditional consulting model is, if it's not dead, it's dying. That's not to say that you're not going to have the McKinseys. You're not going to have the big players. But
You have to have scale consulting.
absolutely, you have to have scale, and which is why we have such a unique model of not only the old school, but the new school, which is a network of entrepreneurs available online and by phone that are there for them when they need us. So what you need to do today, in our opinion, is you need to have a blend. You can't. There are the millennials. There are the younger entrepreneurs who just don't buy the notion that they need a gray-haired old fogey like me hanging around their offices.
Right.
But they do need old fogey, gray-haired, experienced entrepreneurs for advice. They may not know it every time, but they're picking up on that they do. And we're seeing a trend with investors, interestingly enough. We've with the small to medium-sized venture capital groups, with the startup groups, we're seeing a demand for the adult in the room, that someone's got to be there to watch the money and watch how it's being spent and watch how the plan is being executed. The days of weather reports and quarterly I'm sorries are fast coming to an end.
It's too after the fact.
Way too. The things are moving at the speed of light, especially when you talk about growing your company. And if you're in this kind of internet world, which we all are, I mean, think of it. The decision you make over coffee in the morning has changed by the time you order your pizza for lunch. And you got to be ready to move and groove, or you're just going to die on the vine.
Oh. We've been speaking with Tom Shane, Chairman, CEO, Business Strategy Group, and I said before, for many years as I've been out there working, and I think of myself as a dying breed of consultant.
Sorry.
Yeah, well,
didn't know.
People say to me all the time, do you know Tom Shane? And, a lot of times I hear a lot of consultants being thrown into the gutter, trash, but never you.
Well,
So
thank you.
good reputation in what you do. And if someone is looking for you and your services, how would they find you?
Well, the easiest way is to pick up the phone, 617-515-1730. You'll get me, not 724, but you'll get me 718. And then T.R. Shane, S-H-A-N-E, at B-I-Z, strategygroup.com.
Well, thanks, Tom. Thanks for all the work you've done, and great having you on the show. It's nice to finally meet you.
Thank you, Jeffrey.
Hopefully you come back again, maybe talk about some cases.
I would like that very much. Thank you all very much.
That'd be great. Remind everybody, this is Radio Entrepreneurs, and, we're always interested in the stories of entrepreneurship and leadership, and we'll be right back with more stories after this break.